That was such a devastating moment.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're exploring the most catastrophic ski and snowboarding crashes that happened at the Winter Olympics and Paralympics, either from the falls themselves or from the context behind them.
I think another surgery is inevitable.
Avery Krum, the 2026 Winter Olympics Milano Cortina. One of the youngest athletes at the 2026 Games at the age of 17, Krum, while born in Canada, switched allegiances a couple of years earlier to represent the U.S. at Milano Cortina. After comfortably making it through qualification in the women's slopestyle freeskiing event, the final started well with her first run, slightly dropping in her second. Yet in the third run, disaster struck for Krum. Within seconds of starting, she slipped on the first rail and collided with it, causing one of her skis to fall off. With a score of .86 in the run, Krum finished the final in last place. However, with age on her side, she'll hopefully come back strong in 2030. Tyler Walker, the 2014 Winter Paralympics, Sochi. In 2014, Walker competed in the sitting class for the alpine skiing men's downhill event in his debut Winter Paralympics.
What can Walker do?
However, there were issues with the course, causing many people to crash, resulting in only 12 of 22 racers finishing the race. Unfortunately, Walker wasn't one of them. After starting well, Walker struck a bump that launched him into the air, causing him to slam into the ground brutally as his equipment sprayed all around him. While it was uncomfortable viewing, as the U.S. athlete lay motionless for a moment and needed a helicopter to be taken for treatment, Walker didn't suffer any fractures. However, he didn't remember the incident. In 2018, he returned to the Winter Paralympics, securing 2 silver medals.
He really closed the gap towards the end as well, .73.
Christopher Delbosco, the 2018 Winter Olympics, Pyeongchang. After going to rehab following substance issues and fracturing his neck in an attack, Delbosco rose in competitive skiing to take 5 medals at the Winter X Games, including 2 golds, and became world champion.
Oh, Canada! The sweep is on!
In 2018, he represented Canada in the freestyle skiing men's ski cross. However, it eventually all went wrong. In the final jump, Delbosco lost his balance in the air, causing him to crash heavily on the cold surface, making him unable to finish. After being stretchered off, it was discovered that he had suffered 4 broken ribs, a bruised lung, and a fractured pelvis.
You have to be ready for anything.
Thankfully, Delbosco recovered and returned to competing professionally, even switching to represent the U.S. Mercedes Nicoll, the 2014 Winter Olympics, Sochi. A regular on the podium at the FIS Snowboard World Cup, Canadian snowboarder Nicoll was looking to finally do the same at the Winter Olympics in 2014.
I put my snowboard down, I do up my bindings, this is gonna be my last practice run.
However, during a practice run for the women's halfpipe, she clipped the edge, causing her to land head first. When her coach checked on her, Nicoll reportedly yelled insults at him, which was uncharacteristic of her. The fall had resulted in a severe concussion. Despite that, Nicoll still competed. However, she was unable to progress from the qualification. The seriousness of the concussion became clear as Nicoll couldn't snowboard for 2 years and needed to relearn to talk and walk.
I was so slowed down that a walk that would usually take me 10 minutes when I was healthy now took me over an hour.
After returning for the 2018 Olympics, Nicoll retired to focus on her mental health and athlete advocacy.
Please believe in yourselves. Anything is possible. Thank you.
Mikaela Shiffrin, the 2022 Winter Olympics, Beijing. With 6 world titles, 2 Olympic golds, and 1 silver medal, Shiffrin went into the 2022 Winter Games with high expectations from fans of getting at least 3 gold medals in the 6 events she was participating in.
In this exact moment, I'm feeling not too bad. It's a little bit ups and downs with the excitement, and then obviously there's always a little bit of nerves that play a role heading into the Olympics.
However, that unfortunately was not the case for the U.S. skier. When defending her gold medal from 2018 in the alpine skiing women's giant slalom, Shiffrin, during her first run, slipped at the 5th gate. Days later, likely with that disappointment on her mind, she stumbled during her first run in the slalom, ruling her out again.
You don't get to arrive at the Olympics with expectations set and then have those expectations met.
Finally, during the slalom portion of the combined event, she started strongly before slipping once again. As a result, Shiffrin left the games without a medal for the first time.
To this day, still trying to understand certain pieces of Beijing entirely outside of results and performance. And I've learned so much about myself in that process.
Shaun White, the 2014 Winter Olympics, Sochi. One of the greatest snowboarders ever, White was looking to extend his rule in the men's halfpipe event by taking gold for the third consecutive time, extending his incredible record.
You think we're going to see triples in Russia?
Of course, yeah. Which one?
A secret one that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, you're talking pipe or slope?
Either.
Oh man, we'll have to see.
However, after injuring his wrist during practice for the slopestyle, causing him to pull out of that event, it only got worse for him as he struck the edge with his board. As a result, White's halfpipe result was degraded, putting him 4th overall.
Afterward, he said he was disappointed. He was taken away quickly to doping control, so he didn't say much after that.
After coming back strong in 2018 by becoming the oldest to win halfpipe gold, in 2022, White wanted to go out on top before retiring. After a strong first and second run, it looked possible. However, on the third, White slipped on a landing, causing him to finish 4th once again.
Honestly, I'm so happy with my decision. I'm feeling really great about it.
Nina O'Brien, the 2022 Winter Olympics, Beijing. A rising star in alpine skiing, O'Brien's season standings had been on the rise coming into the 2022 Winter Olympics.
I am an 8-time national champion.
Representing the U.S. in the women's giant slalom, her first run went well, placing her 6th in the overall rankings. However, disaster struck in the second run. Right before the finish line, O'Brien lost her balance after clipping a gate, causing her leg to bend awkwardly as she crashed.
When we talked, just the first question, when you're a ski racer and you dream of the Olympics, this isn't the way a dream would go.
Nope.
With this support.
The medical team reacted quickly to treat her. The skier was taken in for surgery to repair the compound fracture of 2 of her leg bones, and she had suffered a partially torn MCL. After recovery and rehab, O'Brien returned to the slopes, even taking part in the women's team combined event at the 2026 Games.
This is something that I've wanted since 4 years ago when I got injured in Beijing.
Hermann Maier, the 1998 Winter Olympics, Nagano. Making his Olympic debut in 1998, Maier's first event was in the alpine skiing men's downhill. With an explosive start, the Austrian lost his balance during a turn. This morphed a mediocre issue into a catastrophe when he immediately met a jump. In an infamous clip, Maier turned awkwardly, landing hard on the ground as his momentum threw him into the multiple barriers. Incredibly, he was fine, turning the devastating incident into an amazing comeback story. Days later, Maier would go on to win 2 gold medals in the giant slalom and Super G events. However, had he not crashed on the downhill, he could have joined a handful of athletes to win 3 golds at a single Winter Olympics. Lindsey Vonn, the 2026 Winter Olympics, Milano Cortina. In 2019, after a career of breaking records and winning Olympic and world medals, Vonn announced her retirement from skiing.
I'm actually really looking forward to not having a plan, not have everything scheduled in my life.
Following a knee replacement, the U.S. legend returned to competition in 2024. Yet with the 2026 Games being her last, Vonn's chances were seemingly crushed when, at the World Cup, she crashed and ruptured her ACL. However, showing an incredible resolve, she went ahead with competing in the alpine skiing women's downhill event at her last Olympics.
But I haven't cried. I have not deviated from my plan. I've been determined.
13 seconds into her run, Vonn's arm clipped a gate as she was in the air, putting her off balance as she fell heavily to the snow. After being airlifted to the hospital, it was confirmed that she had broken her leg, requiring multiple surgeries to fix the damage.
She's apparently in good hands and has both the U.S. Olympic ski team there and the surgeons in Italy that are constantly monitoring her, and like I said, prayers for a speedy recovery.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Lindsey Jacobellis, the 2006 Winter Olympics, Turin. After taking gold for the women's snowboard cross event at the 2005 World Championships, Jacobellis was one of the favorites to replicate the feat at her Olympic debut at the 2006 Games.
I was built up to be America's sweetheart.
Leading comfortably near the end of the race, the snowboarder was already seeing her name in the headlines. With one of the final jumps, she did a method grab to showboat and celebrate her win. However, Jacobellis slipped the landing, allowing second-place Tanya Frieden to sweep in for gold. The American had to settle for silver.
It seemed almost excited to pull me down and make me feel that.
Despite the international humiliation that followed, Jacobellis incredibly picked herself up and won various competitions.
Lindsey Jacobellis claims gold again at Aspen, but a great run.
At the 2022 Olympics, she finally got not one, but 2 golds at the women's and mixed team snowboard cross events. Are skiing and snowboarding the most dangerous sports at the Winter Olympics, or is another event far more hazardous? Let us know in the comments.